Hello everyone, my video today will be about the curriculum of Chinese schools. Now I currently teach in Shanghai, China at Xiwai International School, and the curriculum at Xiwai is based on the Chinese national curriculum, which works side by side with an independent English curriculum set by our school. Now a lot of the parents at our school pay for a basis in English education, but the school is also aware that students need to pass certain tests set by the Chinese government as is required by law. Now, once upon a time in China, the curriculum and textbooks were standardized across the board and dictated by the central government. And this all changed in 1988 when the Chinese Ministry of Education began to allow a range of textbooks and materials from a ministry-approved list. These days, it's not uncommon to see a multitude of resources used in different Chinese classrooms. Now, the Chinese education system is geared towards passing critical tests. Tests being seen in the past as the most valid way to chart a student's performance. Teacher recommendations and extracurricular activities actually took a back seat in the past in favour of standardised testing, and it really wasn't uncommon in the past to see schools place less emphasis and even stop teaching subjects like PE, art or music. Now, however, in recent years, policymakers and parents have come to realise that this overabundant focus on testing may serve to hinder students' performance rather than enhance it. And in schools such as my own, students are allowed to learn English-based topics alongside the core curriculum set out by the government. Now, students are required to learn the following. In grade 6, Chinese language, math, English, geography, music, art, PE, IT and science. And in grade 7, an addition of history to that and a dropping of IT. By grade 8, science becomes more focused and becomes a separate physics and biology, and in grade 9 chemistry is added to that, along with sociology, ideology and moral education, which I have been told from a colleague is a great way to ensure that Chinese students are great citizens. Now, I recently interviewed another colleague of mine named Enrico about what he thought of the high school department's curriculum. Hi Enrico, can you introduce yourself please?
Sure. My name is Enrico Piccinini. I'm the principal of our international middle and high school here at Xiwai International.
Superb. Can you briefly describe what the national curriculum requirements for high school are?
Yes, the Chinese government requirements for all international programs with Chinese nationals that enroll Chinese nationals. Basically, they require every student needs to take 4 courses. These are politics, geography, Chinese history, and Chinese language, and they also need to pass exams in each of these 4 courses in order to graduate.
Why do you think the Chinese government put these in place?
The Chinese government put these in place because while they are very excited to take advantage of the opportunities that international education affords, they want to make sure that in the process of getting an international education, Chinese citizens don't lose their sense of national identity. So really making these courses required is a way of ensuring that those Chinese students who are going to go abroad, when they do go abroad, they still have a very strong sense of where they come from and are very, educated in their own national identity.
Now, do you think these affect the teachers and students in positive or negative ways? Do you think there's anything, first of all, positive about these?
Well, I agree with the idea that regardless of where you end up studying for further study, you should have a very good grounding in your own country, your own heritage. So I have no quarrel with that. I think that's quite a positive thing. In terms of negative, not in terms of the concept itself or the content, but it does create difficulties in terms of scheduling. Because our students do have to complete a lot of classes as it is, especially English classes, to bring up their English proficiency. When you add in these 4 courses, it does become quite a big workload for our students and our teachers as well.
Okay, one more question then. Is there anything you would change about these?
I would, and this is actually something that the Chinese government itself is looking into ways for how to do it, but I would like, rather than have these 4 courses as just kind of walled off, as a separate, totally Chinese kind of curriculum that students study in addition to our own, I would like to find ways to integrate it into our existing curriculum, so that it's in the process of learning about their own national heritage, they also are engaging with the international curriculum that we're offering them. And there's lots of different ways to do that. Different subject teachers, working together with those Chinese class teachers, just to give students a broader perspective. It's not easy because those 4 courses are very exam oriented, but I would like to find ways to do more of that in the future.
And as we can see from this, Enrico feels that there are some massive benefits to students learning the Chinese core curriculum alongside our own. Namely, that those students in China maintain their national sense of identity. Now, surely in the past, the Chinese government, seeing students fulfill another country's education system, such as the IPGC, felt like their youths were losing their own identities and adopting another country's. In my opinion, such laws about standardized curriculums may interrupt learning, but can seriously help the nation of China and its people. A better working on a middle ground may help teachers, governments and students in the future, and Enrico's idea of better integration of curriculums seems like a good one to me.